Yeah, okay, so this is about the fourth time I think I've tried to do this now and get the audio right. So hopefully it works this time. Not much of a vlogger, although I do enjoy watching some of the motorcycle vlogs out there. Some very creative people. We're out Sunday ride in White Bear Lake, Minnesota. You can see that the lake is still ice, but it's about, I don't know, a little over 50 degrees today. Anyway, I guess the reason I wanted to do this is just to talk about summer plans. So I'm not going to work on the bikes all summer. I haven't had a vacation in years. I think I have about 8 weeks of vacation saved up right now. And I'm planning on using up as much as possible this season. So I got plans to go to up to the Boundary Waters, off the Gunflint Trail, and then around Highway 1 over to Ely. A couple of days in Ely, and then back to the Twin Cities. I have plans to hit up Minnesota's Lost 40, which is like, I think less than 1% of the national forest in this country is what they consider old growth. And Minnesota's Lost 40 is 40 acres of land that never got logged. So pretty excited. I'm also thinking about hitting up Deal's Gap, or Tail of the Dragon. From what I understand, Tail of the Dragon is a little overrated, and there's some roads in the area that are actually more fun and less crowded. So that'll be exciting. And this thing just runs so much better since I put a cam in it. Cam and an intake manifold. I went with the Screaming Eagle intake. I don't care what anybody says, it's better than the S&S. Less casting marks, and less money. So imagine, you know how when you're out on a bike and another bike comes the opposite direction, and you do the wave, the motorbike wave thing, and the other guy doesn't wave back. Now I read pages and pages on Facebook of people who are pissed off. Oh, that guy didn't wave back at me, It's like, how big does your ego gotta be to be pissed off, that somebody didn't wave back? It's crazy. Maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe they just don't like waving. Mostly, who cares? Most motorbike riders do wave. So a lot of bicycles on this road today. Anyhow, I think I'm done working on this one for a while. I'm just gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna look for another project. Of course, I still have the Fireblade. That's gonna be an ongoing project. I still don't have a title for that one, but that's that's in the works. Been looking at getting like a 1997-ish BMW GS, like an 1100 GS. one thing that I found when it comes to motorcycles is that I love air-cooled design. I love the way air-cooled motors sound. I like the way they run. They're just more fun for me. It's kind of the same way with my old 911. The new 911s, they don't sound the same. They don't just, I don't know. There's something about an air-cooled motor that I really, really enjoy. So as far as what I've done to the bike so far, so I did a cam. I went with the Screaming Eagle torque cam, they call it, and it's fine. You know, yeah, you can do better with an S&S or a Woods cam or something, but the top end of the motor is all stock still, right? So I don't really feel like I need to be beating up my valve train, you know. So I went with the Screaming Eagle cam, and when I did that, I also did the went to an S&S cam plate, S&S oil pump, S&S tappets, tappet cuffs. Did the full upgrade, the whole 9 yards while I was in there, all for an S&S cam. And some people might say, well, that's crazy, and I disagree with that. It's just a mild cam, and it really helped this motor breathe. The other thing I did was a Screaming Eagle aluminum intake manifold. Totally worth it. Let's see here, we've done Legend suspension, both front and rear. You know, heated, and then just little stuff like heated grips, stuff like that. The Legend suspension helped a lot, and I mean a lot. I mean a lot. This bike handles so much better with that. And the rear helps more than the front. On a Harley, most of the weight is on the rear wheel. So the rear definitely helps more than the front, but the front helps a lot as well. No more nose diving. The bike feels more planted. Feels like it turns in quicker. The whole 9 yards. It's just, ah man, I really enjoy this motorcycle. So what are you thinking about doing for the summer? You know? You got any summertime trip planned out? I'd really like to ride out to, well, when I first started planning, I thought, oh man, I want to ride up to Dead Horse, Alaska. I want to go as far north as you can go, but I have the time off. The problem is taking that time off consecutively. I probably can't take 2 full months off. Another bucket list ride that I have would be to the southernmost point, you know. That would probably take like 3 months, and I can't make that happen right now. So what I will do is just take weeks off here and there. So I'd really like to go down to like Moab, Utah. That place looks absolutely beautiful to me. The scenery, the roads, everything about it. I'd really love to go ride down there. Might not make that one, but I do have Minnesota's Lost 40, the Boundary Waters, you know, Tail of the Dragon, and I'm looking for maybe one more. Colorado would be pretty easy. There's some really great roads out there. South Dakota, of course. That's an easy one for me, you know. I don't know. One cool thing about Dale of the Dragon and Deal's Gap is that so you can book a hotel room at Deal's Gap for I think $80 a night, which is way reasonable. And or you can just camp out on their property for $10 a night. And I mean, that's kind of perfect for me. You know, I could take all my camping gear, camp off the bike, you know, leave all my stuff there during the daytime when I want to go riding. That's what I'll be doing up in the Boundary Waters is motorcycle camping. So, and I'll be taking this one. This is the only bike I currently have that I would even consider doing anything cross-country on. Oh, cool. Check that out. I don't know. The roads here still have this white sheen to them, you know? That's salt. That's freaking salt, man. Like, if you look at the intersections, there's still piles of salt, like just piled up on the road, just piles of salt. I think that there might be about 4 people who will see this. So what are your motorcycle plans for this summer? You know? What are you thinking you're going to do this year?